Hi friends, welcome back to Three Barrow Farm. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I live with my family of 5 in central Victoria, Australia. And I got all this chicken poo out of the chicken coop yesterday. We got new pullets and I just got up early this morning before the sun even broke to check on them. We have them in an enclosed area in the coop away from the other chickens just because we want to protect them from being pecked on and introduce them slowly to the flock. So it is 5:45 right now and it's going to be, I think, 34 degrees today. So I'm out here really early. I've got my sun hat on, but it's really just to keep my head warm because it's quite chilly overnight, which is lovely because the house gets to cool down overnight. Although our solar passive house doesn't really get very warm unless we have consecutive 35 to 40 degree days in a row. So we're very lucky. As you can see, all my poppies have died. They've all finished. There's some more over there that are finished that I need to pull out. So in front of me, I do have room to plant things, and I did plant some seeds. I planted some sunflower seeds, but obviously either the bugs have eaten the seed or it just wasn't the time to plant sunflower seeds. But there are some random pumpkins coming up and I will plant some other things in this garden. I can see that there are so many tomato plants coming up from the compost that I had dispersed in this area from this compost bin right here. So this is our compost bin we're using at the moment. We've got a little flag to say that this is the one to put food scraps in. I'm putting some of the old poppy plants in here just as a bit of dry, and I'm going to put some of this manure in from the chooks, so it's a little bit of paper mixed with their poo, mixed with feathers and leftover food scraps that they haven't eaten, and seed as well. So I'm trying to layer up the compost bins as much as I can while I'm filling them. So I want to add the wet matter, which is the food scraps, and the dry matter, which is screwed up newspaper or the poppy plants that I've just put in, or anything that's dry like wood chips. So I thought I'd give a go at putting some of the rest of the manure on these potato plants here. I don't want to cover the irrigation though, so I'm just popping that up. Now this manure is quite fresh and I wouldn't want to put it underneath tomato plants in its form right now just because it might burn the tomatoes. I'm not quite sure whether it's going to do the same for the potatoes. Obviously it's cold, it's not hot, and it's mixed with all sorts of other things, so it's not just chicken poo straight. It's also quite old because it's been sitting under the coop for a while. But I'm just gonna put a little bit on the plants, just beside the plants, and I'm gonna leave the rest in the wheelbarrow. I'm gonna see how these go. If they look like they're upset by this fresh-ish manure, then I'll pull it away from the plants and I'll compost the rest. But if they're fine, I'm going to add more around them and hopefully promote more potatoes to grow as the plant gets taller. Some of my pumpkins are getting quite big now, and I'm just taking off these old leaves and they're putting out their little tendricles to attach themselves to the Rio here, and you can see this is going upwards, so I'm going to keep growing them up the Rio. I should take all of this old stuff off though. Now look at this beauty. These are the celeries that I got from a shop, chopped off the bottom and grew the plant from the bottom. And of course, lucky me, they have gone to seed. I was trying to go for being able to harvest more celery from this, but it has just gone straight to seed. It pretty much did nothing until it got to this stage where it wanted to go to seed, and it just proves to me again that I just can't grow more celery from the bottoms of celery. And I'm not planning on keeping the seed from this, even though it was organic celery, but I'm gonna let the flowers come out because all the ladybirds are loving the flowers right now. So I have nothing else to plant in this space at this moment, so I'm just going to leave it, and then when I'm ready to plant something, I'll take it out. I have currently got so much chamomile coming up in the garden. I'm harvesting it and it smells so good. I'm dehydrating the flowers and I will use them as tea throughout the year. The apples are getting bigger and bigger, but every now and then I find some on the ground, and what I'm doing is I'm picking them up, putting them straight into the compost, because down here in Victoria we don't have fruit fly, but it is possible that it could come down here, and I'm really trying my best to just keep any of that away from our property. I'm letting all this lovely fennel go to seed so I can collect the seed and use in cooking, but also just to eat some of the seed before and after dinner to help with digestion. I'm also letting these beautiful dill plants go to seed as well so I can collect the seed. I seem to use dill more in seed than I do as the leaves, but I can also still harvest lots of the leaves as well and use them in cooking, and I've also dehydrated some to see how that goes. I still have one large cabbage out here and one cabbage plant that's not really doing much at all, so I'm probably just going to pull that out and feed it to the chooks. But this one is waiting for us to eat. It is nice and firm, it's still going really well. There's some holes in the plant here, but I can't really see any caterpillars, so it must be something else that is eating it. It's really healthy. A couple of the sunflowers are getting nice and big and tall, and I can't wait to see some sunflowers in my garden. Some of these are being chewed a little bit. I've switched from watering in the morning to watering in the evening on these hot days because I don't want the plants to get sunburnt from the watering that I do. But if I do water in the morning, I'm watering very early in the morning. And these carrots are coming up really nicely. I've been thinning them out by just taking out one or two from the rows. And there's one now, one beautiful purple dragon carrot. Let's take out one more. And by taking these out, we're allowing the other ones to get a lot bigger. And look, that's quite a nice fat carrot there. Look at that. Here's one of the pumpkins that came up from seed, came up all by itself, and it's growing really nicely. It's very, very happy, and I kind of want it to move in the direction of this corn here, but it seems to be going in this direction, so I'm going to do a little bit of finessing. See if I can get it. It's quite set in its way, but if I pop it to sort of go round and then back on itself, hopefully that will work, and it can meander and be some living mulch underneath these corn plants here. You're going to laugh at me when you hear that I've planted common mint in my vegetable rows, but I'm keeping control of this, you wouldn't believe, even though it's gone absolutely crazy. I'm cutting all the runners. I'm just keeping everything from spreading, basically. And it's quite happy in its area here. I do plan to move it out to the front garden eventually. It won't stay here forever, but I'm sure I'll have lots of mint plants coming up for many years until I finally get rid of it completely, but I'm okay with that. So this morning I'm going to harvest some of this to put in my morning smoothie to make it nice and fresh for this upcoming hot day. If anyone needs any mint, you know where to come. Well, the sun is coming up now. I'm going to take my carrots and my mint inside and I'm going to make my breakfast. I'm going to use the carrots for lunch though. I hope you've enjoyed a little garden update, just a few things that are happening in my garden right now, and I look forward to bringing you another video soon with all the harvests and all the green growth. See you next time, my friends.